remember, I'm coming from the right side. Okay, this is still property of the state fair. From the sidewalk, this way. The sidewalk that surrounds the entire fair, that belongs to the city. This side belongs over here to the state fair. So all I'm asking is you'll just step out to the sidewalk, have right at it. That's the same reason those folks were right.
No.
No, I'm not gonna go.
Don't. You have to check in, man.
Okay.
You have to check in. You have to check in.
Don't touch me.
You have to check in.
What's up, though? You good?
Please let the elevator go. Can't get on.
Blocking if you go in the
We'll go upstairs. We'll go up the elevator to the public space.
You have the cops because they're now trespassing.
I'm trying to go up to the public.
A trespass. A trespass.
What happens when your constitutional rights stop at the gates of a public event? At the Texas State Fair, a peaceful protester armed with nothing more than a sign was told to leave or face arrest. Despite being on a sidewalk and fully within his First Amendment rights, he was met with resistance, legal threats, and a clear message. Free speech isn't always welcome, even where it should be.
In that day when Christ comes,
How you doing, sir?
How you doing? Hi, David.
How are you?
Okay, I'm John.
I'm David.
Yeah, I saw that.
As you know already. I'm with you 100%. I'm on the right side of the road, but the rules are the rules. If you're going to bring a sign, you're going to have to go out there to the sidewalk.
But as far as I understand, in the state of Texas, policies pertain to people, employees, and people that have entered into a contract with the State Fair of Texas. I haven't entered into a contract with y'all until I purchase a ticket and I go through into the property.
But the same discussion that Ken Paxton had, once again, remember, I'm coming from the right side. Okay, this is still property of the state fair. From the sidewalk, this way. The sidewalk that surrounds the entire fair, that belongs to the city. This side belongs over here to the state fair. So all I'm asking is you'll just step out to the sidewalk, have right at it. That's the same reason those folks were right over there on that corner and not over here on this corner.
Okay, so
we dealt with them last year,
yeah,
and they know, and everybody knows. We don't mind your issue, and we understand it more than you think, and more than anybody else thinks. But if I could just get you to stand out there on the sidewalk, nobody will bother you.
All right, I'll move out to the
Somebody
side.
will probably come along and say, "Hey, you're going to do that?" Well, this is a sidewalk. It's a public sidewalk.
Right.
Nobody can rent it. Nobody can lease it. Nobody can have a contract on that sidewalk without a special permit, of course. But this is basically everything inside the sidewalk line belongs to them. It's no different than if you were renting a building at a business park or a strip mall. This is your section. You have somebody come into your place. No, I don't want you here. You can go out there on the sidewalk, but I lease this. This is mine. It's kind of the theory.
I told him that yesterday when he tried
But-
to come up here.
Okay.
But
Well,
the
that's
pe-
fine.
but the only reason I'm being singled out is because I have a sign. Other people are just walking all the way up to there.
Exactly. Well, you're displaying your thoughts and feelings on the sign.
Well,
And I get that.
well, expressing my First Amendment right to.
I get that too.
To protest.
I get that too.
Yeah.
But a protest is legal if you're on public property unless you have a special permit to do so on that particular location that you want.
Okay, I understand and I appreciate the way you explain it. I'm going to go, but I absolutely do not agree with it.
Dude, I'm telling you.
And the wheels of change turn slowly, but they're going to change.
Well, I hope they change for the better for those of us who, I'm not saying on the right, but that my grandkids grow up safe and not have to deal with what we've had to deal with because our parents didn't do anything about it back then.
Yeah.
And that's a big issue by itself. But I'm on the right. I like it on the right. And, I'm not going to say I'm a Republican, but I think straight on the other side.
Well, it doesn't matter political party.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been a member of both political parties in my life, and it's just a matter of I believe in the Constitution.
I do too.
And,
I do too.
And it's like all the signage, I mean, like the sign here, pedestrian entrance, the whole thing just screams, you can come in here until you buy a ticket. I mean, that's just, all signs point towards.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome, MLK entrance right there. Welcome to the fair. Everything points to that and beyond is the fair.
You know as well as I do, this whole thing is about money. And that's why it's focused this way, and it's focused to give the patrons the opportunity to find a way in and pay for their site, pay for their ticket, and go on in. Now, granted, if you buy a ticket and flip it over and look at the back, you can read on there, basically it says it doesn't guarantee you the right to be entered. You can be expelled at pretty much any time.
Yeah,
so
right.
You become a problem, which is normal. I mean, if I'm eating dinner and somebody's in there being an ass, I don't want them around me. Get them out of here. You know, it's just one of those.
So if I choose to still, in defiance, stand right here, what happens?
We will do a criminal trespass. And in that criminal trespass, it basically says if you come back or remain on the property, you'll go to jail for a Class B misdemeanor.
You mean I'd be subject to arrest?
Yes.
Am I trespassed yet?
Not yet, no.
So I'll wait till I get well, no,
you want to be trespassed, I can get it done for you.
No, you've asked me to leave. I'm going to leave and take my opportunity to leave.
Well,
but I'll be out here.
Yeah, I just want to, just once again,
just so they understand. No, but isn't it creative?
I know. Yeah.
And it's really so true because it's like last year they have a shooting, and what do?
We talked about that. You got to guarantee me that.
Oh no, it's on. So don't comment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so they have a shooting. So what do? They take away the rights to protect ourselves because the police they didn't prevent the shooting. It took place. There were police here. They didn't prevent it. But
unless it's open air warfare, actual shooting going on. Yeah, you're right. The police won't be able to react fast enough.
Yeah.
An individual carrying their own weapon is a different story because they can operate and do what they need to do.
Yeah.
The problem I find with that, I'm a retired police officer. The problem I find with that is...
Wait, let me turn this off.
This confrontation reminds us that free speech must be constantly defended, even on public sidewalks. If we allow vague rules and private interests to override our constitutional protections, the First Amendment becomes a privilege, not a right. Stand firm, know the law, and never let anyone tell you that your voice doesn't belong in public spaces. What happens when public employees guard an elevator like it's Fort Knox, just to stop citizens from accessing their own public building? In this fiery First and Fourth Amendment audit, things get tense in Miami-Dade as auditors are denied entry for refusing to show ID. Are we in America or a third world regime? It's civil rights versus policy, and it's about to get heated.
He's telling you where the bathroom is. He said it's this way. Yeah, that's what he said.
Mr. Marshall, come here. Yo, you said the restroom's over here?
Yeah, they got cameras all around the building, just in the lobby area. See, we're not going to go into any authorized personnel only areas because those are restricted. Anything in there? That was the Department of Solid Waste Management.
Wait, can I ask y'all a question real quick? This is scary.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
We're recording.
I'm sorry. Are you going back to an apartment? Did you say sorry?
Yeah, I know. Excuse me, sir.
What's up? Is this
You
restricted?
have to check in to go in
Check in where?
No, I
at the
don't.
front desk.
It's
Oh,
not.
your ID?
That's
your
not.
ID.
That's not true, sir.
It's going to discriminate. No, it's not. You have to show your ID.
What law is that?
You have to show your government issued ID. You cannot go up. I'm
Don't
sorry.
touch her.
You're
I'm not touching
assuming.
you.
You're
I'm
assuming
telling you,
everyone
you
has a
cannot go up.
government ID. Not
We
everyone
just wanna
has
take
one.
video,
You
that's
cannot
it.
go up.
Yeah, we don't need to show
You don't want to die on this hill,
It's
sir.
not
cannot
a
go
law.
upstairs.
It's not a law, bro.
You cannot go
You're a person,
upstairs.
you can't, dude.
You cannot.
You guys are just making up your own policy, your own laws. It doesn't work. That's not the way it works, bro.
Show your ID and check it at the front desk, sir, and we can let you go. But
We're
until
we're
then,
following
you
the
cannot
law.
go.
We're following the
Breaking
law,
door.
sir.
Dude, come on, man.
We're following the law.
You guys
We
look
just want to
routine,
take some
right?
video, dude. That's all we're doing, dude.
Okay.
We don't have to show ID for that. What's your name?
What's your name, sir?
My name doesn't matter.
You work here? You're the public servant, right?
Yes,
Sir. Sir.
I'm nobody's servant. I can tell
Sir.
you that.
Well, you are
And I do
public.
not
Well,
work-
you work
and I
out-
do not work for the
You
county.
you work you work for the government, sir.
In a government building. You know.
My taxes pay your
It's not a
salary.
So
building.
you locked up the freaking elevator?
There's 3 of us and 3 elevators.
Dude, that's crazy. You just want to take video. This is what they did to me last time, dude.
You turned it off. Because that was locked.
Yeah, I'll turn it back on.
What's your name? What's your name, sir? Could you identify yourself, name and badge number, sir? You're not going to identify yourself?
Nah.
That's not professional, sir.
This ain't professional. This ain't professional.
What ain't professional?
Everybody check in to go upstairs. You're not checking in, so I mean, it's not.
It's a public building. It's a public building,
No,
sir.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
Private owned. Said do the
But it's-
research. You'll find out.
Yeah, but it's occupied by government. It's occupied by a governmental entity. It makes it public. Same rules apply as a public building, sir. Respectfully.
Obviously, it don't.
Well, we know what the law is concerning public.
We know the law too, and that's why y'all can't go.
No,
upstairs.
obviously you don't, because you're putting policy over law, sir. I know what your policy says, but I'm not here to abide by policy. I'm here to abide by the law.
Well, I'm
So,
not
like-
here to abide by what you said.
In North Korea, you may have to show identification everywhere you go, but in America, whatever our tax dollars pay for that offer services back to the public is, as long as we're staying in the publicly accessible areas, we're allowed to take pictures and video, and we can.
You could do that.
We don't
That's
have
not a
to.
problem with that. That's not a problem.
But the
problem
issue
when you
is-
go into then you going to try to get access to areas you're not allowed to without identification.
So the issue is not relinquishing our Fourth Amendment right, which is to show ID, right? That's the issue. But
It ain't an issue.
but it's a
The
Fourth
issue
Amendment.
is You're not going to go nowhere. That's the issue. I mean,
Yeah, but it's discrimination. You guys are restricting our movement to move freely.
it's the rules.
What is accessible to the public, sir?
Not every area is accessible. You know what I'm saying?
Not every
You can't
area.
go to any company and just go anywhere.
Yeah,
you want.
authorized personnel can't go in there.
Same thing.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
you have to have ID, right? When you go to authorized personnel, right?
We're not going to authorized personnel
Yes, you
areas,
are.
sir.
You
Just
go to
just the
stairs.
publicly accessible areas. That's all.
So you go up.
This ain't going nowhere, right? With the elevator. So
This is exactly what they did to me.
yeah. Sir, could you identify yourself? Are you the supervisor? Is he your supervisor? Are you the supervisor? Sir? I'm assuming you're probably the supervisor. We got your ID there. How you doing, sir? Could I get your name? Because I'm not getting anybody else's name. No. You're not going to identify yourself either?
Right. But you still have a space here. Right.
What's your name, sir?
Eddie.
Eddie, nice to meet you. You're the first one to identify yourself. Are you their supervisor?
No.
No? Who's the supervisor?
No, in this building.
There's no supervisor in this building? You guys are all same.
No, for me.
You all have the same rank?
Yeah, you can take the elevator. Oh, okay.
So this guy, the tall gentleman right here, he's not the supervisor.
No.
No?
Yo, I'm not playing ball.
Don't. You have to check in, man.
Okay.
You have to check in.
That ain't gonna work.
You have to check in.
Don't touch me.
You have to check in.
It's all good. You good?
Please let the elevator go. Can't get on.
Blocking it from going in the building.
We'll go upstairs. We'll go up the elevator to the public space. You have the cops because they're now trespassing. I'm trying to go up to the public.
A trespass is a secondary offense. So it needs to be attached to an actual primary law that's being broken.
Let the young lady go to her.
Yes, as you let me go into the elevator.
You seem like a nice enough guy, dude. You don't need to be part of this. It's above your pay grade.
As soon as you let me in the elevator, so
Here, police will handle it. Police will handle it. Your job is to observe and report, brother. Here, just step aside. I don't want to push through you. Go, 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 go.
Yeah, I go to a public space and a public steps. Jesus.
I'm gonna go up the stairs.
How you doing? Oh, they usually keep it locked?
They always keep it locked.
Jeez, high security in this place.
That's why I don't think
So we're just trying to go like in the public accessible areas, but they're saying but they want to violate our Fourth Amendment right in order to come in here.
How do we get upstairs?
the elevators that are not working.
Oh, see, we're just trying to get the public space. That's
You
it.
can come down, you just can't go up.
What's up there? What services do you have for the public upstairs?
Our office. Well, I work for code enforcement.
And that's-
Code enforcement, so
Right,
it's-
that's what we're trying to get to go.
Yeah, but you have to have
class.
tickets and stuff to go up. Like they have to give you clearance.
To a public space.
Well, you have to have basically.
I told him I'd give him my name. I don't know why.
Yeah, you can, but you have to check in. If you check
But
in,
that-
upstairs.
I told him I'd give him my name.
But did you give me your ID?
I don't have it.
We don't want to relinquish our Fourth Amendment.
I can't get an ID. I told you I'd give you my name.
Right, I understand, but unfortunately, that's their fault.
Well, it's a violation of our Fourth Amendment. You understand, right?
Yeah, you can leave it. You can leave it locked. It's fine.
I can let you up, but I can't let them up. They have to check in if they want to go up.
Get on the other side.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're the biggest clown in the whole building, dude. Straight up.
Tyranny. Tyranny.
So, how do you feel, sir, about getting 1 million views, being a tyrant?
From a totally building without being cut. We'll see about that.
Trash tyrant.
I hope they call the 911 that way. It's, it's an emergency cameras. That's usually what it is.
So, you guys got cameras all around the building, so you guys can keep an eye on us if you really had to. Why do you guys have such a fear for the people?
I got Kevin right there.
I got a picture of his ID badge.
On that window it says Metro Dade.
Who funds this building, sir? Or funds the space?
This building, dude.
Who funds the offices here in this building, sir? Our taxes. That's right. Hey, you guys could maybe hang yourselves on this as well to be part of the Snowflake family?
That is good.
You need to look to our public offices that we pay them for like families. Because people want to act like bouncers, like they're in a nightclub, dude.
So some of my subscribers like to call these guys rent-a-cops. I hear people call them rent-a-cops or mall cops.
Yeah. Let's see. What was that? Solid waste.
It's a nice tree, though.
There's obviously code enforcement. There's obviously public buildings. It even said Miami-Dade.
All I want for Christmas is to go up to the upper floors. So I noticed this is off Martin Luther King Drive or whatever. You guys are familiar with Martin Luther King, right? Junior? He was for civil, you guys like civil rights, right? We're just exercising our civil rights to not have to relinquish our Fourth Amendment in order to enter into our building and go into the public spaces. Think about that. Think about that. You guys are on the opposite side of civil rights. Can I speak to a supervisor? Who's a supervisor here? Well, this guy's a clown. He can't be the supervisor.
Right, I think he's the supervisor. So.
That's a diversity hire right there.
You have a text message.
I mean, if you go into a third world country, guys, there you have to give identification on everywhere. But here in America, for public, you don't have to do so. We know you guys got a policy, but it's a violation of our Fourth Amendment right to not have to identify ourselves to enter into a building that's public. So it's not a private business. It's funded by our taxes. Each and every one of you pay taxes, so do we. We just want to enter into public accessible areas. I don't know what the big deal is. Yeah, you're pretty lame, dude. Excuse me, sir. I want to get into my building. So your job is to observe and report. Observe and report. Hey, sir. How you doing? Are you a supervisor? Are you a supervisor, sir?
My name is David.
David?
How can I help you?
Hey, David, I'm Zach. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Zach.
Okay, so appreciate you identifying yourself. You're like the only other person who has besides this gentleman. We're just trying to go into the public accessible areas in this building, which we have a right to do without having to identify ourselves, which would be a relinquishment of our Fourth Amendment right. So you guys are violating our rights to enter into our building, which we don't appreciate at all. So
Your
we just
building?
we pay taxes, correct? So this is a pub. You guys are a government entity occupying the space, correct? You guys offer services for the public, right?
So as they probably pointed out, you have access to all of this area on the first floor.
And on the second, where they provide services for the public.
Mm-hmm.
So for the record, on record, do you want to sit here and say that there's no departments upstairs that have public access? There's no lobbies or waiting areas upstairs?
You have access to the first floor.
You're not answering my question, though. I just asked you a question.
Okay.
Okay's not answering my question.
What's your ID so that you've chosen not
What
to
if I
give
don't
us-
have an ID?
You've chosen not to give us
What if I don't
anything
have an
more
ID?
than that, correct?
What if I don't have an ID?
You've chosen not to give us anything more than
You've
that,
chosen to
correct?
violate my rights, and I'm not going to allow you to do that, sir.
Okay.
Okay? You believe in civil rights in this country, correct? Okay. Still have lots of questions.
This video proves how far some officials will go to turn rights into privileges. Denying access to public spaces without ID violates the Fourth Amendment. Public policy cannot override the Constitution. Know your rights, stand firm, and never accept policy as a substitute for law. This isn't just content, it's evidence. Every clip is another example of why public oversight matters. We're not just watching the system, we're exposing it. So do your part, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and help us spread the truth, one video at a time.